I have kind of always been all over the place with ideas of what I want to do, where I want to be, and I can never really pinpoint what exactly it is that I want to do. I feel like I was never actually really moving forward with anything and just started to feel really stuck. And then it just so happened to be that the one community call that I had jumped on right after following Strong Physiques, it was one with Jeremiah. And it was such a great call. And he was very interactive with reaching out to everybody that was on the call, which I had never experienced in my entire life. He knew something needed to be fixed, not necessarily needed to be fixed, but he knew that there was some guidance that needed to take place. There is no bullshit with Francine or Jeremiah, but that was what I loved about it, was they really asked me the in-depth questions, and instead of just letting me say I don't know, they made me answer the questions. And so there I knew that I really needed some help. And I was like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. Financially, it was not the time or place whatsoever. But Francine said, if this is something that you want to do and you feel like it's something you need in your life, you're going to find a way to do it. And I found a way to do it. And it was absolutely incredible. It is something that I have never invested in myself before. So I was hesitant, of course, on moving forward with that kind of a cost. But I've been growing up in personal development a lot in the last few years. And that's something that people always say, is that you want to invest in yourself. And it was something I knew I needed to do, whether or not I could actually do it. And I was a little nervous because I felt like Jeremiah was very headstrong, very like, we got to get to work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I don't do this well enough, And I was a little nervous about that. But as soon as I started getting into it and talking to him more, it's not like he just left you high and dry and you got to figure it out on your own. He's the exact opposite. He will have one-on-one conversations with you. He's readily available to answer any of your questions if you're struggling. And if you're not sure, you can ask him a question and he's there. And even with the rest of the Conquer staff, it's just, if you have a question, you're not sure which direction you need to go, they're always there for you. And so I found out very quickly that it was going to be okay and that it wasn't just going to be a year of, I don't know what to do or what I'm doing. It was very well laid out and the team was so supportive. I think one of the things that really came to light for me was I always thought I was such an introvert for certain things. And I know Jeremiah had this post one day and it was talking about how you think you're introverted, but it's just insecurity. It's your own insecurity and you're not actually introverted. I messaged him, I was like, man, I think that's so true. I think that's me. I'm not introverted. I'm just insecure. And so working with him to really crush that insecurity a lot and made me more confident to do the things that I want to do. So one of the big things with the messy year that I've had is I recently just got promoted to a assistant lead project engineer at my work. And I've been working a lot with my own boss for a while, and I told her from the beginning of me joining Conquer Academy to the very end, she's just like, your growth is massive. She said, you were never like this before, and I can just see that you can really, take this on. And so that was one of the biggest things for me. When I talked to Jeremiah, when I felt like I wasn't really accomplishing a whole lot, he helped me realize the things, like the intangible things that I had gained. And I think that's so important for people because we're in a world where people feel like when they see all the tangible things that they start to get lost and frustrated if they don't do things like that. Like, I didn't accomplish anything crazy. I didn't do these crazy runs or crazy hikes or anything like that, but I gained a massive amount of confidence and different perspectives. And I think that's helped me the most in the long run so far. Doing things on your own is good to a certain extent, but to get that extra push and to really know and have those guidelines, like a road, you have your right lines, and then if you don't have those, then you're kind of all over the place. I didn't have that for a very, very long time. And I was just like, oh, I can do this. And then I'd start to do it a little bit and I'd kind of go off track. And then trying to figure out how to get back on was a struggle. And so having the Conquer team, whether it be the staff members or the other members, just keeping me on track was helpful, because you can get lost so easily just trying to do things on your own. I've never had a support system that great in my entire life. And the other thing too that I really like is his perspective was very refreshing. You just don't see people like him a lot, especially in leadership roles where he likes you to look at things from all perspectives rather than just your own. So that really helped me open up my mind to think, okay, well, if I'm in this position, what would my perspective be? And I guess you could say it's more of like an unbiased person. He has his own opinions, but when it comes to you, he's going to give it to you as kind of both ways. Look at it from this way and look at it from this way, and then, make a decision based off of that, or, see things from that angle. I've just grown up so much. I didn't think I was growing up enough, and so just seeing and having all these different points of views that I never had, and wanting to handle things so much differently, and I'm just learning so much more on how to just be a better human, and it's been phenomenal. Because I always thought, this is how it should be, and I started to think that I was opening up a little bit more, but working with Jeremiah is just a whole new window. I would definitely recommend Jeremiah for anybody that wants to really take it seriously on growth, whether it be the tangible things that a lot of people go after or the intangible things. And if they are really committed to doing that and really wanting that structure, I would consider him in a heartbeat for anybody. He is just as dedicated as you are. He will match your level of dedication, and if you want to put it all in, he will be right there with you the whole time. If you want to kind of go a little bit at a slower pace, he will match that too. But it's just, you need to understand that if you want the most out of it, you need to be all in.